Hi, I'm Stuart from Active Lifestyle Physiotherapy, and today I'm going to demonstrate a basic ankle strapping technique for someone who's had a sprain on the outside of their ankle ligaments. The first thing that we usually do, especially if someone hasn't had the ankle tape before, is use a bit of underwrap. The idea of this is that it actually just helps to protect the skin against the fairly strong adhesive that's on normal strapping tape, and it's also much more comfortable for the person. So all you usually do is you start about 15 centimetres up from the ankle bones and just below the bottom of the calf muscle, and you just wrap it right the way around. Just at the top of the ankle in the same area. I'd repeat that one more time just to cover a bit more of the skin. Because the tape actually uses the skin as the main way that it holds on and protects and supports the ankle, the more tape that you actually get covering the skin and the more surface area, the better it's going to stick and hold the ankle in a stable position. Just hold it like that forward. The only thing with this tape is it can be a bit tricky to get the backing off. The bottom of that. There we go. The next part, always going from the inside to the outside, is a basic stirrup, and again this is just the underwrap. What you want to do is go from the inside of the calf muscle all the way around the bottom of the heel. Don't put any pressure on this, but you just want to get it nice and flat without any wrinkles, and you pretty much just cross over the ankle bones, probably if anything going a little bit towards the back of the heel. Smooth it all down, and then you can actually start with the strapping tape. So this is a basic rigid type of sport strapping tape. It won't stretch, so it's pretty nice and firm when it holds it. The first thing I like to do is start at the top of the ankle again, just where you started with the first two. And we call these anchors, and it just goes around all the way from one part of the ankle at the back of the Achilles right around the other side. And you can do 2 or 3 of these, just overlapping by about 50% to give a bit of extra strength and to cover more surface area. Okay? Once you've done that, they're your anchors. You want to measure out a bit of tape which goes from one side of the foot to the other side. Tear off your tape, and again starting on the inside of the ankle, because you're trying to most of the time protect 90% of ankle sprains happen on the outside, so you want to keep the ankle up and back in that direction. So all you're doing is you're coming from the inside of the ankle, going down towards the heel and coming back around. As you come back around, just get the person to bring their foot up a little bit, and that'll hold the ankle up in that direction. Again, you always want to do at least 2. You might want to do 3 layers, overlapping by about 50% of the tape's width. So I'm just going to do 2 there. Always start on the inside, come around the back of the heel and back up to the outside there. You want to make sure you don't come too far down the foot, otherwise it's going to pinch and cause a lot of soreness when the person starts to run. The next part is a figure of 6, so you want to get a bit of extra tape for this one because you're going to start on the inside of the ankle and finish up on the inside as well. So you start where you put that first stirrup, come from the inside, again getting the person to keep their foot up there, and you come right back around to where you started. Just make sure as you go, you pull it nice and tight so that you don't get any creases. The other thing to be careful of is pull it up pretty much to the top of where you started. If you come across too sharply, you'll cover up this tendon here, and that can cause blisters when you start to run. So once again, I just do 2 of these. You can do 3 if you need a little bit of extra support, and you just overlap it by half. And And I just always smooth it out with my hands to make sure that there's no wrinkles and it's nice and comfortable. The next part is a figure of 6 again, but it's just the opposite way around to provide a bit of counter support and a bit of support for this part of the ankle. So for this one, all you're doing is starting on the outside of the ankle instead of on the inside here. You're going to start from the outside, pull it down to the heel, come back around the heel, and you're just going to go back up to where you started from again. Now again with this, you don't want to come too low down on the ankle or you're going to cause a lot of blistering and rubbing, especially if the person is doing a lot of running. So that's the first part of the ankle strapping. The last part you want to do is just a heel lock to get it all nice and tight in around the heel. This one's pretty straightforward if you start with the tape in the right position. So what you want to do is start with the tape at the middle or the front of the ankle, right in the middle, and you just want to have it angled back towards the heel. And what happens then is you just follow the angle of the tape around the natural curves of the heel. So it'll go just above the heel there, it'll come back around, and I'm not pulling it in any direction, I'm just letting it follow the natural shape of the foot as it comes around the heel there and back up to where you started from. So it'll pretty much start and end up in the middle at the front of the ankle there. That's called a heel lock. And I usually only do one of these as well, but you can do one in the opposite direction, and I'll just show you how it works. So it starts at the front, you're angling back towards the top of the heel at about 45 degrees, and you're just following the natural shape of the heel. It'll come back around. You might need to give it a little bit of help just to make sure it doesn't get any creases in it, and it'll just end up where it started from at the front. Okay, we're almost finished now. So once you've done all of that, you've supported it in the area where the ligament's the most weak, you've given it a bit of counter support in the other direction. All you want to do now is a bit of tape at the beginning again, right across the top. So you're locking in all of the other ends of the tape, coming around like that. And it should be pretty nice and comfortable for the person. They're still going to be able to move their foot up and down and side to side. But what that tape really does is it gives a lot of feedback from your ankle up to your brain to make sure that you're reacting in the right way, and that actually helps to protect the ankle joint a lot, and it's going to help to stabilise the ligaments and provide a bit of extra support after a ligament sprain.